Hello, folks in YouTube. Welcome back. Just about to get going here. Yes, the last thing was a brief strategy session, a little extra for you guys because not much happened. Joe, I know, is doing Liberate the Antilles right now, and I was going to ask, what were you going to do after that? Probably, was it law and industrial promotion or?
Um, yeah, most likely.
Yeah, and then you can start. Probably, you haven't done worker militias yet, right?
Nope,
But
not
you
yet.
do it. But you've done rent freeze.
Oh, wait. Actually, now that I think about it, didn't I want to beeline heroic military college to get that land doctrine cost reduction?
Uh, get it fairly soon. So I was going to say is after law and industrial promotion, then you might do heroic military college. So that
'Cause I
would
have to get
be
military budget review in first, which is another 70 days.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, there's no
Yeah.
super rush on it. Although speaking of army experience, I did want to ask what your templates. I know you have the 3 infantry, just pure infantry brigade for defense, and that's the brigade Argariste or whatever. And then
Yeah.
you had I think a cavalry template you're not actually using. It's just sitting there, right?
Yeah, division to Caballeria. Yep. Six
Yeah.
cavalry, one support artillery.
Okay. Can I take a look at your Discord thing, like a stream? Just curious.
Sure.
It'd be easier to see numbers and not miss details. It's probably not much. Focus on YouTube as something like that. Okay, so you got your cav. And then what was the infantry you're using? You can just exit that.
My
Escape will.
proper infantry are this one.
Oh, if you hit escape, it'll
I
exit
can
that
add
out.
pioneers.
I wouldn't bother right this second, but if you escape on it, oh,
Escape.
oh, I see. To close. Okay, so because I was looking at the list first. The Agaristas, the cavalry, training. Oh yeah, and the Divisio. You got some Marines. You got that template automatically, and the Divisio di Infanteria. Okay, what was that in that again? I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else.
Just
Mil-
9 infantry and support artillery.
oh, it's already got 9 inf. Okay, I was gonna say. Hmm. You don't have any like obsolete decommission templates that'll be on the top, do you? Anything else? No.
Nope.
Um. All right. And right now, are you actually able to equip up your 9 width, 18 width, sorry, infantry with like, do they have full artillery? If you left click on them. Uh, okay, yeah, so they do
Yeah.
have artillery. Do you have any in stockpiles? I was mostly trying to figure out about adding artillery and the economy of that.
No, none
Oh, well,
stockpiled.
yeah, it won't show there whenever you load a save. But if you left click on the 0, it'll
Oh.
tell you.
Oh, 48,
Yeah, so
actually.
you got 48 artillery pieces, which is, oh, that's like 3 support artillery companies more.
Yeah. More, I
Um,
think. Yeah, 4 more armies
well,
or
it's,
divisions,
isn't
sorry.
it 16 or is it 12 or 16 in support artillery? It's
It's,
12.
I think it's 12. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, all
12
right. But
per
you're
division.
probably wanting to get the M1s the guys are at to fail. I was gonna say you might want to create a duplicate version of the Divisio di Infanteria. I personally rename everything in English stuff so I understand better, like at a glance, what it does. But I was gonna say you might want to create a duplicate template that's not elite,
How
for
come?
training purposes, just for stuff that's gonna so that your rifles will go to the ones already in the field and the ones who are like the M1s,
Oh,
so that
right.
because you're probably gonna want to push before these guys are fully trained, but these are for like a little bit later when you're pushing into Central America. But you might as well start getting them trained now, and you can pre-deploy them even if necessary. So
So you want, well, I can't switch these guys
no,
mid
I'm talking
thing,
about a
right?
duplicate template. So if you click edit on that, I'm
Yeah.
sure, and then like, well, I was gonna say you create another name or yeah, these are, and then
A duplicate?
duplicate. Yeah, I was gonna say you trade. You know that that's just a Spanish word for infantry division, by the way, right?
I know.
Divisio D.
I don't
Okay.
feel like renaming it.
All right. Yeah, and then if you just
All
click
right.
update, yeah, and that'll create another version that's at reserve priority. You might want to get some of those training, and that way they won't compete for like the M1s. They'll just mostly work off your basic infantry equipment. Um, but
Wait, do I
yeah,
need these two to be different?
yeah.
Uh,
Well, ones you may have. I think you had different infantry equipment enabled. I think the training only brigade didn't have.
oh yeah, I turned this off.
Yeah, that those if you have the spare M1s, the brigade agarista, the ones in the field, and I think the training one had everything but basic infantry equipment disabled. I would check. You probably should have everything else disabled entirely for just training men.
Oh, for this one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would disable everything but the basic infantry equipment, like actually uncheck and even turn off those two, and then click update. And this is a yeah, and then this is a little trick I actually learned. Instead of
This
training
one as
these
well?
guys, the reserve priority ones, um,
Of the larger infantry
yeah,
division?
instead of actually training them, I would actually be using those as an exercise variant. You could even rename them exercise instead of training. I wasn't clear what I was going to suggest here. This is a way to get men in the field quickly, but very under equipped. But especially important in like Central America, where you're going to be fighting through some really hot terrain. Um, you don't really need to change the equipment. But what I was going to say is that you would train the training brigade, so the one that's just pure infantry, right? Although, shoot, the problem with this is that they'll. That's why I was asking how much artillery you had. The problem with this is this will waste a little artillery. Um, you can do both actually. So what I would do is I would train up. I would queue up three of the training infantry divisions, the larger ones at the top, and those will just draw from your basic stuff. And then you can just hit at you, and those will actually use artillery that you've already got. Oh geez, you're already out of rifles, aren't you? Shoot. All right, well I'll send you some more rifles. I was gonna, in fact, and then the other thing you can do is actually train brigades, the size 3, when they have 20% equipment and 20% training, you can pre-deploy them, and then you can enlarge them to the larger versions, like the ones that have just basic infantry. And but you don't even have the
Yeah,
rifles for that right now.
arborista.
But in a little bit, that version, if you like, in a little bit when you have the rifles, you can train some of those, and then deploy them as soon as they hit 20%, and then enlarge them right up to the 9 battalion things, and then they'll have less than a third equipment, and uh you can just have them train up. In fact, you could actually disable all equipment on the trade on like create a version that's exercise only of the 9 with if you want, and these will just very gradually train up. Um, and once they reach train, they'll start giving you army XP from the exercises, and you can put them somewhere hot so that acclimatization. This is a way to get men with very little equipment not competing with your other divisions. The only cost this is, of course, it's going to be harder on your manpower, and you don't have much to play with. Um, but this is just yeah, you're at 33,000, but
Yeah.
you do gain a little each month. Like you gain 250 every month, and you're not probably losing hardly any from the war. So maybe this is something for after the war, but it is thinking a little bit ahead. I'll explain it when we come to it. If you look at my US single player game, I've been messing with this. I'll stop watching the stream now, though. Anyhow, I
Okay.
just wanted to indicate with that, try and explain, look at your templates. I thought for some reason you had a 6 infantry battalion, and you don't have anything like that. So um, something I had been thinking doesn't work. So don't, especially with how little manpower you have. So don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, you really do want to get that jungle rat guy. They're not attacking you in the jungles, are they?
Should I fall back and let them have one of the jungles?
Yeah, I might let them have the northern jungle piece so you don't have to push across the river and just push them back out. It'll also pull them out of, like, they're probably entrenching, like, near Matamoros and stuff, and you might even be able to, like, after doing this a couple times, push all the way to
Actually,
Matamoros and not
it
have to
looks
deal with.
empty.
Oh, just
Should I
Reynosa
just
has it.
march? Should I just march into Matamoros?
It's not going to do you any good, really. It won't even,
Okay.
victory point's not worth anything, but I know there's a division Reynosa because I can see it myself.
Yeah, there's one there.
So if you pull out of the jungle, that division will probably march south, then you can push them back out of the jungle. You can keep playing this game for a little bit, and then you can push all the way to Reynosa. Like right now, he's probably entrenched in Reynosa. But if you just deorged him out of the jungle, he won't be entrenched in Reynosa. So not
Okay.
only will you be able to grind Jungle Rat from this, you'll also be able to potentially um,
And then I want to strategically redeploy cells.
strategically redeploy. Oh yeah, the guys who are in that northern jungle, you might want to strategically redeploy them south one province,
Okay.
and of course make sure the front lines aren't gonna like have the divisions try and march right back north or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think your best divisions, you already put them. They're in the southern jungle now, and you've got guys just holding the line near Mexico City, where they crossed the river before. You already won that battle, right?
Yeah. I've got two small brigades there.
Which probably is enough to hold it. They're probably not
Yeah.
going to leave San Luis en masse because if they did, you could just take their capital. Not that you necessarily want to, unless they left it completely undefended or something. But yeah, because you really need a jungle rat, and you might want multiple jungle rats because you can have them as both field marshals and generals. Um, I'm just going to be messing with pre-deploying
Got,
divisions.
I've
What?
got six. I've got six up in the southern jungle though. Six of the small ones.
Yeah, you probably what's the combat width in a jungle? 60, 54. So you can attack with three of the larger divisions north. Um, hmm. You could push. No, pushing
You
west into
know,
that mountains
it's
would be
looking
tough.
like I could surround the capital right now.
Yeah.
Should I do that? Actually,
Oh,
don't seem to see people there in the way.
in the two mountains north of the capital, there's nothing
Yeah,
really.
looks like they retreated.
Oh, yeah. So you could push there, and then you could abandon the jungle bit after you've taken the mountains. Right now, that northern jungle gives you the ability to attack that mountain from two directions, so you can bring more divisions in. So yeah,
Oh,
if you're
should I have all nine of my troops march to the mountain instead?
have all nine divisions march into the mountain, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, instead of strategically redeploying south, they could just march into the
Yeah, I
mountains.
would cancel strategic redeploy before they deorg from actually starting it.
All right.
Uh, yeah, you're probably going to want to use battle plans to make sure that they don't lose as much planning while they're marching, because the enemy probably will try and strategic redeploy something to stop you from marching into that mountain. So
I'll
you will see
cancel exercising then.
who's exercising.
New guys 92% trained.
Oh, that's your third large division?
Yeah, my third large division in Aguas Calientes.
Oh, you have two large there, and you're training a third up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've got two large that are regulars and one that's trained, and he's 92% of the way towards regular.
Hmm.
I've got a couple of small guys, aguaristas as well.
Uh, yeah. What I might split off the guys, let them finish training in a separate like army, and just have the two that are regular march into the mountains.
Okay.
Because you also there's a mountaineer trait. Like even if they engage you in combat there, um, and they can like effectively threaten the capital so that the enemy won't try and like counterattack or something like into Aguascalientes or
Okay.
it makes them more afraid that if they attack out of the capital, then they lose entrenchment. So the AI is more likely to just stay put, which is what you want to do if you want to take the mountains unopposed. But yeah, I mean, you already have 2 armies. I might consider creating 3 or 4 armies so you can micromanage more carefully. Um, and having the divisions they're exercising like an army of their own, so they don't get in the way of the other divisions actually doing stuff. You know?
I'll just put them in the red army that's just holding the line. I
Oh,
think
oh,
that should be
yeah. If
fine.
it's just holding the line and there aren't, it's not going to set other divisions to exercise that you need to actually like sit and entrench, then that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I'll do that for now. There's just that guy that needs to train up. Then the rest of then the entire army will be
Oh,
trained up.
I see. Yeah, and then you could have the other guys. So yeah, I would have the 2 fully trained guys, and I go Scalente's push northeast, and
Okay,
to the
cool.
and I would have the other guys in the jungle push west, and you can cut off the capital, and then you can pull back from that jungle and fight them there, and they'll be weaker because they won't have supply at that point. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna let's see what's a good song. Heartsman. Oh, I like this one. I'll pause. I'm busy deploying troops on near Springfield. Oh yeah, I can't hit space, can I? Um. Oh,
Oh,
hold on. I
sorry.
got a
Let me pause
mil.
it. I have to adjust a line.
You just what?
I have to adjust something quick.
Oh yeah, and I got like 4 purchase requests that just got approved. I'm buying rifles for my puppets, so they can send them to you, sell them to you, or sell them to some of the AIs at a jacked up price. Um.
All right, I'm good on pause.
All right, hold on a second. I was
I'll
gonna
just wait
put
for you to
some
unpause it.
cheaper rifles up for sale for you, if that's cool. Um,
All right.
actually, let me slightly adjust my production queues. Sorry, you said something?
Sorry, I'm just messing with front lines.
All right.
Hopefully
Okay.
they don't do something stupid.
Yeah. All right. So I'm breaking something up because you have a little more flexibility in deciding if you want to abandon factories. If you have multiple lines in parallel, it's always so less efficient. And okay. Yeah. So I was gonna put up some cheap rifles for sale. Some more Springfield rifles. Is that cool?
Okay. Sure.
Let's see. Just shy of 1,600 of them, so that's 1030 purchase price. So if you send some number of factories that's even number, you shouldn't have any waste, I don't think. Or I'm trying to think. 30. And whatever, I don't know. Anyways, you could put some factories and buying those Springfield rifles. They're all basic infantry equipment, so they can help with sending to Spain and also training troops who are in your training queue. So
Yeah. There's some Garens for sale as well. Oh, they're the expensive ones.
yeah,
Right.
I'm starting to stockpile
That's
Garans
fine.
because I'm gonna need them in my Civil War in the early stages. I still have some for sale to the AI at jacked up prices, but because they'll buy those and they won't really buy the Springfields. But I'm actually even buying some infantry equipment for my puppets. I can sell you some of those from the Hawaii and the Marinara when I get them in a month. If you want, I was gonna resell them to the AI, but at a higher price than my puppets were selling. Yeah, just unpause it.
Oh, yeah, they're starting attacks in the places I don't want them to go.
Oh.
Hold
Oh.
on, I gotta change the spearhead. For some reason, they're trying to move into Reynosa and Matamoros.
Oh.
Even
Oh.
though the spearhead is as simple as it can get.
What's the aggressiveness level set to?
Careful.
I don't know why they're doing that. That's weird.
Yeah, I literally just right-click on the single province that I want them to go to, and it just everything, this whole state just turns green.
You sure that's spearhead and not front line? I mean offensive line?
Positive. Positive.
Jeez. Yeah, okay. It's being weird. In that case, you might just have to manually order them into the
I mean,
mountains.
I can let them do it. One of them's going into the mountains. Just the other two are like going to Reynosa and Matamoros. That might capitulate them. Yeah, I'll
Is that
manually do it.
is that a large one or a small one?
They're all larges.
In Reno, it won't capitulate them if they lose Reynosa.
They're
As long,
trying to walk into the capital too.
yeah,
Okay, I'm just gonna.
you don't want to do the
Yeah,
capital though.
I'm gonna
That
manually tell them all where to go. These
yeah,
guys are idiots.
yep,
You think it'd be pretty simple
yeah. You're just trying to cut off the capital from
to
the rest of
take
the
the
country.
single province that I want them to take, but no.
Uh, maybe it's some junior officer who's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna take Reynosa. I'm gonna make a name for myself."
Yeah, let's just march straight into the capital.
Yeah,
I
this
mean, sure,
reminds
if I
me
was
of
in
when I
that
was in
position as well.
ROTC and I used to know some guys. I called them damn cowboys. Me and a couple of other people who were cynical about these guys. Some of them were just way too gun ho.
Yeah.
We used to joke they're gonna go frontal charging into entrenched machine guns. And in fact, one of them actually did that in a field training exercise once. In
Jeez.
the we were doing it in a forested area, and they like did a simulated charge right into what was supposed to be machine guns in a forest frontal
Yeah.
charge. I'm like, you're an idiot. Especially like I saw some of the other people did these complex flanking maneuvers and stuff like that's what you do if you're dealing with entrenched infantry. You don't do frontal charges, especially not in a forest, because the forest makes it harder to move quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, there's like roots you can trip over and stuff. Even the most sure-footed people. Anyways, I'll pause if you're good, or
Yep. I think. I hope.
all right.
Okay, they really want my new guy to go to Leon for some reason.
It's giving me a news thing that Peru joined your alliance.
Yep.
I thought it had already told me, but I guess not.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh,
it's just bugging out and doing it again because of.
no, it's actually a different news pop-up than the one I got before.
Oh yeah.
So it's telling me multiple times in multiple different ways. I think one of them is because you're my neighbor, and the other is every nation gets the other one or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I almost forgot about this. How would you like some fighter aircraft, Joe?
I have no idea how air gameplay in this game works, but
N-
sure.
None? Didn't I thought you? Oh no, is that Nick who plays like the
Very little.
who was playing the Old World Blues? I thought aircraft are really important in that one.
Oh, he does. I haven't messed with mods yet.
Oh.
No, I mean
Uh.
very. I played a little bit of mods, not much.
Oh. Okay.
Not old,
Well.
not old world blues yet. Anyway, but
Oh.
yeah, I've like played with aircraft, but I've mostly just set them and forget them because I don't know what I'm doing with them.
Oh. Okay. Well, if you really don't,
But yeah, I could learn
yeah,
again.
yeah, you're gonna
Yeah, I
mostly
haven't.
be unopposed in Central America. I've got some
Yeah,
B6s on sale for a pretty high price, but I was gonna try and get you some of them. They're a pretty old, just an interwar tactical bomber, but they have the range. Like those air zones, I think they're pretty big.
yeah.
Central America, that's the air zone you'd be mostly pushing into. Let's see. The little bits, Guatemala's in the Yucatan. That you won't need much range for Guatemala or Belize, but everything past that's gonna require ranged aircraft. The
Ah,
Yucatan's actually big too. Do you have any air bases in the Yucatan Peninsula?
let's see.
Looks like you have one in Oaxaca that's on it.
I have a single one in Yucatan and one in Oaxaca.
Yeah, you got that's fine.
Two in
Level 1 can
Oaxaca.
support 200 aircraft, and level 2 400. You got plenty of air bases there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that air zone is big enough. I don't think casts at this tech level can even cover it easily. So yeah,
Okay.
I could
So
sell
yeah,
you.
three,
Yeah,
three total
before
in
the
that region.
okay, before the AI gobbles it up, then let me put some B6s. I've already got some on sale. I was gonna add a little more later, but um, I'll even, since you're not super familiar, I'll reduce the number. Let's say, come on, I like
Do I need
to.
fighters with the bombers as well?
Not if there's
Escorts?
nothing to shoot them down. And with the air
Okay.
detection levels at this, like, all right, I'll put 20 of them on sale for a low price here. I'm reducing the price on 20 of my B6s, so you can buy those.
All 20?
Yeah, that's not even, that's a fifth of a full-sized air wing. It's a very small number, but it'll give you just a
Okay.
little bit of an edge in the Yucatan. And since you don't have much
I don't
fuel,
need them soon, right? So I
no,
can just
you're gonna
take.
need them, and then you're gonna need to train up the bomber crews. It's gonna take time. This is just thinking ahead.
Oh, so should I buy them in one delivery or two or
I
four?
would put just one factory on it. Just get it in so I can get back to selling the rest at jacked up
Okay.
prices.
All right. I'll put one factory on it.
All right, and the others I'm selling at much higher prices to the AI, so just put them back up. Reselling the stuff I bought for my puppets. Uh,
How come in the buy equipment page it only sometimes shows you like arrows to show that it's higher price than usual? Like sometimes I have to click on it.
sometimes, yeah, if it's
See
too,
other
if the
times
name
it's
of
just
the
there.
equipment is too long, it often won't show you anything.
Weird.
All right. Sorry, I'm reducing the amount of M1s I'm selling because I need to keep 1,000 in stock power. I can get a negative event before my Civil War, where it's like the new Confederates in advance of the Civil War tried to raid your armory and they found nothing. Now you lose stability because you didn't have any rifles in the armory, and it gives them a propaganda victory. Sorry. So I was, yeah, that can literally happen. So I'm trying to avoid that.
See. So
But
you're trying
every
to make sure you don't have no rifles?
Yeah, and in fact, after this point, I need to probably start stockpiling M1s. I'm gonna need
Oh,
some for my men. I'm
it
also working
managed to
on
reinforce, but I'm winning the battle that's began, so
what?
it's just one. There's a single infantry that reinforced that mountain province.
Ah, looks
Should I
like
just?
you're.
I'm 93% of the way towards winning though. Should I just keep fighting it?
Yeah, are your divisions in the jungle under attack? I'm seeing a battle bubble there. Are they attacking out of San Luis?
Yeah, they are attacking
Which,
out of their capital.
uh,
There's one, one brigada. I don't know why, but there's the three that are moving. There's one that's defending, and then there's two more just sitting there.
I mean,
How do I get them to join the battle?
anyone that's in the jungle is in the fight, or they're in the reserves for the fight. So
Okay, so they're. Oh, that's weird. They're not. I'll take a screenshot.
I'll just open the Discord thing, the screen share.
This is easier. Yeah, you can see.
Where you're defending. It looks like it's just one v
There's
one.
Yep,
Oh,
even though there's two guys just standing there like that in the same province. Maybe time needs to pass?
yeah, they probably just initiated the attack, and the others. But what I would do are the only people moving northwest. Those
I
three
think I might have
guys
pulled them off.
are. Is there anyone moving into that mountain from north of there? The jungle that's northern Tamaulipas.
Yeah, the three large infantry are moving into the mountain.
No, but I meant, are they moving? Is anyone moving from the northern jungle into the mountain, or are they only moving from the southern jungle?
What do you mean?
Uh, divisions when they're marching out of one province and into another. What I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out is if the province that's currently fighting a defensive battle is the source of all the infantry they're marching in the mountain, or if there's any moving there from anywhere else.
I have my three. There's two jungles.
Yes.
I have I have 3 units moving from each jungle into the mountain province,
So you have
north of.
6 in total,
Yep,
right?
three big
Uh,
ones,
th-
three little ones.
then I would pull out. Oh, are the ones in the north little only?
No, they're big. They're the
Oh,
bigger ones.
oh, it's the southern ones. They're little.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would have them stop moving to mountain, and just let the big ones. Because if they're in two battles at once, which they will be in like an hour, they su-
Oh,
they suffer they lose half their attack, and like
I
even
see.
though they might just be in the reserves and not actually fighting on the defensive, it can get weird.
So
But
I should have all the lower ones defend.
yes, have them focus on defense while the others focus on attack. If divisions try to attack and defend at the
Okay,
same time, they get a big debuff. So
I can do that.
yeah, that's all. Oop, I got division. Someone just bought stuff for me, and I got pre-deploy. Oh, Brazil was
Oh,
buying a bunch.
they called off the attack. So am I safe to invade again?
The out of the jungle, I would just let them reorg plan for a little bit, anyways. The other guys will keep carrying on the fight, and that way they won't lose
Oh, they're
planning.
all fully orged and pretty much fully planned.
Yeah,
Like
but
maybe 2% more planning. So,
yeah, I'd
and
still let
I
them.
want to beat the battle before more troops march in because I can see there's some on the way.
Oh, you're not gonna be. Even if you win, it takes time to march into a mountain. You're not gonna finish it before the other reinforcements.
Right. Okay.
So I would
All
let
right.
them, because they suffer attrition when they're marching in, even if they're in the reserves. So I would just, to avoid the attrition, to avoid the planning loss, I would let the guys in the southern jungle rest. Also, if you attack again, they'll attack again. Every time, it looks like if you have the southern jungle divisions attack, it makes the ones in the capital attack you. Because then they see,
Mm,
oh, they're not dug in. I can attack them while they're attacking, kind of thing. The AI
okay.
is smart enough to do that. So, um, yeah, I'm just doing something with so I've got like all these small divisions I'm training, and I'm merging them together into a bigger template. Um or looking at maybe doing that. I don't know. Shoot. These guys are almost trained. I should probably wait to do that. But I was doing it before. You can merge together divisions into bigger templates. And that can be useful if you like train a bunch of small ones and merge them into something bigger. Certain cases, like if some you can, because that way, like you say you only have enough rifles to start training two of your brigade agoristas, right,
Yeah.
Joe? And so like you
Yep.
equip two of them to 20%, then get them in the field and they start exercises, and then you start training two more, and when they get to 20% a little bit later, then you put them in the field, and then you merge them all, like three of them together into, or maybe it's two and one, or maybe it's one and one and one at this point, and then you merge them together into your 9 infantry battalion. And they're different points in the training, but it'll average all the training levels together.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah, actually, because it'll average it. I should merge them all, because some of them will start gaining experience sooner and some later. But shoot. Okay, I just talked through it and I realized I was being stupid. Um, yeah. So
I can
I'm
create.
merging. I have these 3 infantry things I'm training, and then I'm merging together into 12 infantry things.
You
Uh,
think Peru would send me expeditionary forces? I can create an empty army for expeditionaries.
uh oh yeah, they're probably gonna ask to join your war soon, aren't they?
Do I? I don't want them to, do I?
Probably not. And I don't think you can ask for expeditionaries while they're not actually in the war. They have to be in the war.
Oh,
So, uh, cool.
I
That
see. That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
getting some guys out of the training queue, and
I just saw the button appear.
uh, I have a more efficient thing in my single player version because I've learned from what mistakes I made here. Um, where I've got like templates that are just infantry that train, and I did Um, yeah. Although, so Joe, I was talking about like doing quick improvisation and grand battle plan really quick for the command experience,
Yeah.
right? That makes a certain amount of sense, but the as the U.S., I start off with superior firepower, the first doctrine of that tree, and that enables a army spirit where I can design divisions almost for free. So I probably should have run the superior firepower thing, designed a bunch of divisions, and then gone grand battle plan. The only thing is I don't really have to worry about my army that much, and command power is very valuable for my navy. So for getting new admirals who are level 1 but have Seawolf and might have better personality traits once I get convoy interdiction. So, but yeah, there's different ways of doing things. So I'm just pre-deploying some guys in Missouri. Um, and merging some of them together into bigger templates. Fun. Um, hmm. So I apologize. This is taking a sec where I decide where to assign people, let them do their thing. Sorry. Yeah. Um, so to anyone watching this on like YouTube or Joe, if you're hearing what I'm saying now, so I'm doing is I'm pre-deploying a bunch of divisions so that they can get exercising. It's a quicker way to get men training and some merging some together. Um, Now, Joe, the reason I was asking about how much artillery you had in stockpile before, you remember that?
Yeah.
Is because if you don't have enough artillery to equip a bunch of divisions, but you do some of if you have templates that have artillery, um, but you don't have the artillery to actually equip them, um, they still may have higher organization than a smaller one that also has artillery, like more infantry that are artillery will lower the average organization of a division in exchange for adding soft attack. But if you don't have the artillery either way, then having larger divisions will still have better organization. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember what your templates looked like, and there's a trick with that. I'll pause it here for you. Or oh, sorry, you good with me on pausing?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just noticed you took that mount, and I'm like, sometimes that does chaos to your front lines.
It looks okay, actually.
All right, cool. Then I'll pause again. So yeah, having under-equipped divisions can sometimes be better than having full-equipped smaller divisions if you have the logistics and the combat width for it, because they'll have higher org, assuming you have supply companies that aren't being equipped. Um, or even actually, if you do have equipment, if you have support companies, is the key thing here. But you're as Mexico, you just have your smaller divisions are just pure infantry, so they don't have to worry about support companies lowering their average organization yet. and your bigger guys are the only ones that have support companies. So none of that applies to Mexico. It does apply to the United States, though. I have a template that's got National Guard. They have 52.8 organization. They have 12 infantry, support, artillery, and engineers, and they have like what I've called an engineer brigade, which is 3 infantry and engineers and has less organization. So even the riflemen won't be able to fight as long in that division. Um, when it comes to having like under equipped divisions, or at least under equipped because they're none of the they don't have any of the artillery really that they would have if they're fully equipped or support equipment, because I'm saving those. That's the really expensive equipment.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I'm trying to build up support equipment stockpiles also for later, though I think I may have overdone it a little. There we go. Anyways, on pause. It's Christmas in the game, by the way. December 25th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like to
Wait.
sometimes do like Christmas offensives. That's like a homage to World War One. I think there was a big Christmas offensive or something. How's
Oh
that?
yeah.
How's that? That push in the mountains going? It looks like they're attacking you again.
Yeah. I'm winning their attacks though.
Oh, good.
I'll have the other people on the other side join. It should win in less than a day now.
Yeah, so
91.
yeah, and there's actually 2 different mountain provinces you could take to cut off their capital, either one, but they'll only get the encirclement penalty if they're only reduced to just the one province. So it's better to cut them off that way to create the smaller encirclement. Um, but yeah, the guys in the mountains are under attack though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are as well, but they should be winning. Or do you think I should have them stop and focus on defending first?
Stop and focus on defending first. The guys in in the mountains.
Yeah.
They're attacking into the mountains as well.
Yeah, they're attacking from the other side.
Um, are they in the reserves of that battle, or are they actually in the fight? You can click
They
on the
are in
battle.
the fight.
Oh, then I'd leave them. If they're in the reserves, I would say call it off. But if they're actually in the fight, then they're actually speeding the battle up. So yeah, just
Okay.
let him keep fighting. Um, there's no point in them suffering the penalties in their defensive fight if they're in the reserves, which sometimes they can sit in the reserves for like weeks before they get pulled in. I've seen if your reinforce rate is really low, it can be
Yeah.
brutal just sitting and waiting for a division that you really want in a battle, and they're just nope, we're gonna send the reserves. Signal companies can actually speed that up if I remember, because they reinforce rate I think benefits from initiative. Ah, what the did the Bahamas just gain full independence?
I don't think so.
The Bahaman. Oh, I just got the
Did you
the
see
thing
that?
to potentially embargo them for war support. And Jamaica, Trinidad, Antilles, Guyana, Belize.
I guess it just took some time.
It didn't trigger on all of them. It only triggered on 6 of them. And I think there's like 8 nations that just gained their independence. So I don't know why some got it and some didn't. How many of the British ones are there in the that just got independence? Let's see. 1, 2. I can just count the capitals, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it is always 6. So all 6 of them. I'm gonna shoot up to. Okay, if I take let selective training act finish and then take the decisions, I can shoot up to 70% base war support. Nice. Then mobilize my economy is just a matter of being in a war if I want to go to war economy. Um, which should be in May. It's probably worth it to save political power because I
Ah,
do.
hey, I took both mountains. So, okay, the front lines are a mess now.
Yeah,
Probably pro.
whenever you create encirclements, they get really messy. So
Yeah, I'll
I'll give
just
you
delete all this.
I'll give you a moment to straighten out.
Now, what do you think I should do exactly? Just have like one front line around the entire capital?
No, you can create micro front lines in different areas. If you try and create one, that's like 6 or 7 provinces, and the game will try and balance the unit strength. And you really need more units north of the capital. I would create micro
That's
front
true.
lines on those 2 mountains because that's where they're gonna really try and like break through to reconnect their capital. And you can probably at this point, now that you've taken those mountains, abandon that northern jungle and just focus on defending the encirclement around the capital. You can push them back out
Yeah.
of the jungle later. Like, but yeah, I would create like a bunch of micro fronts, just like with the right click on front line. It gets weird sometimes. They'll try and draw a circle around the whole thing, depending something to do with like clockwise rules or something. For
Oh.
um, I've never figured it out. So it's a little bit finicky and hard to work, but you're gonna want more divisions. They're less likely to try and push from your capital south because what that would just overextend their lines even further, and more likely to attack on the northern area. Since you're just gonna be holding this for a while, you could even use fallback lines as an easier way. Although I don't think shoot no, the general won't get organizer if he's on a fallback line. So never mind that because you want him to
It's
get
not
organized.
letting me create a front line where I want. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I've
Yeah,
got 3 front lines.
yeah, 3, 4, whatever it takes. Yeah, and keep in mind the game bases the decisions to rebalance not on how many divisions are currently in a province, but all divisions that are currently in a province that aren't marching out, plus any divisions that are marching into the province that have like been assigned to that front line. So, um, any divisions are currently stationed somewhere or that are going to march somewhere and are like haven't arrived yet. So, just so you don't have divisions like marching all over the place, that might be useful to know.
Um, Sorry, I was sort of focusing on the
Oh, I was saying the
front
game
line.
decides like it'll rebalance front lines if you're not careful, and then divisions you want
Yeah,
to stay put will move somewhere else. And it
yeah.
bases that decision on divisions that are currently stationed in a province and assigned to the front lines there, plus any divisions that are assigned to one of the front lines in the province but haven't arrived yet, but are already like you've told them to move there already. So you can use that to your advantage. Like an area that has fewer divisions, you can tell other divisions to march in, and that'll prevent the AI from trying to march other divisions in as long as they're
Okay,
already assigned to the front line to where they're marching. See what I'm saying?
I see.
Just to stop the AI from doing kooky stuff. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting for 1939 to roll around so I can start on advanced machine tools without an ahead of time penalty, and then I'm going to give a trait to my aircraft MIO that requires that tech. And I'm also waiting for Selective Training Act to finish. And then I'm going to embargo the Caribbean countries and then lift embargo like a day later. Just, I'm going to have so much war support. It's ridiculous. I'll be sitting at 80% war support after this, which I did not expect. And when the Dutch liberate their Antilles colonies, by the way, Joe,
Yeah.
I should be able to get up to effective 100% war support with base 90, which would be really nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, that'll be just the maximum rate of command power income. And especially once they build the Pentagon and Department of Defense, which will give me a national spirit that multiplies that by an extra 10%. I'll just, I'll just be hiring admirals left and right and promoting field marshals. I actually need to promote some of my generals to field marshal before I start focusing on admirals.
All right.
Courtney Hodges, and Mark Clark. Both need promotions, so that's like 80 command power, I think. Neither of them are
I think
career.
I'm good on pause now.
Oh, I can
I
hold on.
mean, it looks clean
All right.
enough to me. Anyway,
Okay.
I mean, there's some supply issues,
Supply
but I don't know
issues.
what I can do about that. Yeah, those mountains are a bit poorly supplied.
Oh yeah, mounds are hard to get supply into. They
Yeah,
supply
there's a rail
flows.
going to them. They're
Doesn't
Oh, that
matter.
doesn't matter though.
It only goes from the supply hub, which I can
Yeah.
see your supply issues because I have military access. Uh,
There's a hub in that jungle though.
it says that there is supply remaining in the province. That shade of orange just means it's close to running out of supply, not that it's actually
Okay.
out. But if you hover over the divisions, does it say that they're 100% supply or are they?
I have two small divisions that are.
Oh, if you hover over in supply mode, because that'll tell you how much supplies they're receiving. They also have a buffer, like they store supplies. If you hover over
Oh,
the unit card,
it
it'll tell
says
you how
supply
much
demanded 0, supply received 0. They're taking attrition though.
from low supply or.
I don't know. I see little red boxes and exclamation points on their unit
Hold
models.
on, if you share a screen, it's probably due to marching through mountains. Because
Oh,
mountains create.
that's probably what did it then.
If you hover over it, it'll tell you if it's train based attrition or supply based attrition. Because you can suffer both, or even weather based attrition. Because you can suffer attrition if you're like marching through mud. If you hover over the little skulls, you have to put your mouse right over the little skulls on the unit card.
Oh,
0%. So that must have been from
that's
when
weird.
it hasn't updated yet. Either they were out of supply and they just got supply, or they were marching and now they just stopped marching. Either one. It just hasn't updated
Oh,
yet.
okay.
So they won't.
So they'll be fine there.
And if you hover over them in this mode, like just hold 100%. Okay, yes. It's showing 0.0 because the amount they need is so little. It's rounded. Oh, 84%. Okay,
These are the other guys.
so the smaller divisions, some of them are fully supplied, but others are only receiving 84. So they are suffering light supply penalties, not very big. There is something you can do about that. Do you see over in Aguascalientes? Because well, actually, there's two nearby supply hubs. If you left click on it,
Oh,
well, actually,
should
hover
I
over
put
the
a railway here?
no, hover over the thing next to your convoys at the top, just to make sure how many. You should have some trucks as Mexico.
Oh, I need a couple trains. I have no trucks, but I don't need any trucks.
But I was gonna say you can motorize the supply hubs. You could use trucks, but you don't have any. You must. I forgot. Think I advised you to sell them at the beginning because they were worth a lot of money. But I think
I
Mexico
might not have
starts.
even had any.
What?
I might not have even had any.
No, Mexico starts with like 60 trucks or something because they historically used trucks in
Oh,
the first
okay.
Mexican the Mexican Civil War in 1920. That was actually one of the first wars where trucks were ever used in warfare.
Hmm.
That was actually the first motorized divisions to ever exist were used in Mexico. Even before like combat motorized in World War One, the U.S. used some, but they were more just to get to the battlefield. It was different.
Yeah.
The Mexicans were actually pioneers in the use of motorized. But you don't have any trucks. Hold on, I can sell you some. You may also need a couple more trains. Okay, if you could go back to Supply Hub instead of looking at this stuff because they haven't put anything for sale. I'm still looking at your screen. But if you go back to Supply Map Bone, hover over the trains needed one of two. Okay, so the first thing is that the supply hub needs two trains to provide its full supply, and it's only receiving one. So that supply hub would be like more effective. Hover over the other one to the east because each one of those supply hubs, they're both close enough. Okay, also one of two. So if I sold you a couple more trains, you'd be able to distribute more supplies from the hubs. And if
Yeah,
that's
I
still
just need
not,
two trains.
yeah, and if that's still not enough, I could send you some trucks and you could motorize the hubs, which you'll lose trucks over
Would a
time.
rail be nice here? This
No,
railway
that's
didn't
not
have
going to
any trans.
benefit in any way. Rails don't
Oh,
distribute supplies. Rails just are used for getting supplies to the hubs and for strategic redeployment of men where they move faster.
right.
If you're doing
Okay.
strategic redeployment, it's faster on a rail. So there's another use of it. It's not just supply hubs. But let me put some trains for sale because I think you sold me your trains earlier or something so that you'd have money to invest in factories.
I
Okay, I
have no
already
idea.
what?